Hey guys, Jason Benson here with Love Moves Us. What's the best way to get your kids to do what you need them to do? And when they're defiant, what do your kids really need? I mean, what do they really need? They probably tell you about things they need all the time, but we know there's a big difference between needs and wants. What do they need? If you're like me, you probably feel like your kids try to manipulate and control everything. Frequently, my daughter likes to tell us no about everything. It doesn't matter if it's what we made for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. When it's time for bed, what book we're going to read, or to stop telling Alexa to play JoJo Siwa. Seriously, JoJo Siwa. She gets defiant. She wants her way. She wants what she wants, and there's no other way. The other morning, we were trying to get our boys' breakfast going so they could get out the door for school, and she comes downstairs and does everything she can to push their buttons. She sits in their seat, and she sits where they were sitting. She tries to play her music on Alexa, and she takes their stuff and won't give it back, and she's just being rude and nasty to her brothers. Now, going back to some of our other videos, you should know that the first thing I have to do is to be aware of what this is doing inside of me feeling right now. Well, I'm irritated and mad, and I don't want to respond with grace and love, and I don't want to be playful, but I know that I need to be playful and to try to redirect her behavior. So I ask her to try it again with respect. No. So now what? What do I do? Many parents feel helpless in this moment. Others power up to be the authoritarian, and I said to give it back, and you're going to give it back. And then you pry it from their cold, shockingly strong hands. But that's not the answer. No, there's a better way, and it works. But first, there's a few things that we want you to know.
I just feel like it's so abrupt. Ugh. Ready? Here we go. Love moves us.
No, I hadn't even pressed record yet.
Our vision at Love Moves Us is to see every child have a family and for their families to flourish. We focus on serving and supporting families who foster or adopt by providing community, encouragement, and support. See, we know that parenting is hard, but parenting children with unknown backgrounds, histories, and even various forms of trauma adds complexity to an already challenging task. We'll be holding some in-person events this summer, yay, in the Chicagoland area, so be sure to check out our website for more information. Next Saturday is the first ever Love Moves Us Family 5K. We want you to run, walk, bike, swim, whatever it is that you do, so that you can raise awareness and support for families like yours. And you'll also get the first ever Love Moves Us t-shirt. Hosting our very first ever golf outing on June 11th. Check out our website for more details. And if you know a person or a business that might be willing to sponsor the golf outing, please let us know. Now, listen in as Jason shares some principles on how we can connect with our kids.
So what do you do when your child isn't listening or doing what they're supposed to do? You've tried to be playful. You've tried asking them to do it again the right way. Nothing seems to be working. And why isn't it working anyway? See, we always need to be looking for the need behind the behavior. Frequently, we can feel like our child is just being a brat and wants to get their own way. But don't we want to get our own way too? I mean, if we're honest, they're not just doing things to make your life miserable. They're looking for control. Yes, control. That's what they need. That's frequently what's driving their behavior. They have this need to control something, especially for many of our children who feel life is out of their control. They need to feel like they have some control over something. And if your child came to you through foster care or adoption, there are many things in their lives that were out of their control. They had no choice where they ended up. They didn't get to choose who to live with or who their parents would be. And that's just the beginning. So understand that your child frequently has a need for control. So what do you do with that? Well, you give it to them. That's right. You give them control. Not all the control. We're not talking about being permissive parents and letting your child get away with whatever they want. No, we're talking about giving your child appropriate amounts of control by giving them choices. Choices. Choices can be your new best friend. When you give choices, keep in mind you only want to give 2 choices, and you're okay with either one. You set the parameters. You're setting the boundaries. That's how you give appropriate amounts of control. You're deciding what the choices are, and you're okay with either one. Neither of the choices are wrong. And we're not talking about an ultimatum, okay? I mean, let's be honest. How many of us have said, eat your dinner or you're going to bed? That's not a choice. That's an ultimatum. A choice would be you can eat 3 bites or 4 bites of your broccoli. Okay, so only 2 choices. Both are okay and neither are wrong. So in the story with my daughter, I'm not sure if she's able to control herself or maybe she's dysregulated. So I offer her a choice. You can take some deep breaths to calm yourself down, or you can go sit on the stairs, which are nearby and I can see her. I'm giving her the choice for how she wants to regulate her behavior. She can breathe and calm down, or she can leave the situation if she needs to. Sometimes that still doesn't work, and that's okay. I can still present choices. Okay, I gave you choices and you're not choosing either one, so now you can walk over to the stairs or I can carry you to the stairs. We can have a time in together. And it's always going to take more time, but this requires an investment on your part. See, if you want to see changed behavior, you have to be willing to invest the time. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes, try as you may, your child is still refusing and doesn't like your choices. So now what? Well, that's where compromises come in. We all make compromises all the time. We go out to eat and we ask for substitutions on the menu. We're presented with choices, but we don't want those choices. We want to make a different choice, and that's all compromises are. And sometimes the answer is no, and sometimes the answer is yes. At the end of the day, if the child doesn't like broccoli, and let's face it, who does? Couldn't they eat a different vegetable? Would you like to eat some carrots instead? Like, that's a great compromise. After all, we don't want to make food a battle anyway. Teaching your child to ask for compromises teaches them that their voice matters. What they have to say and think matters. They begin to realize that they're important to you and they believe in themselves. So start offering your child choices. You give them some control. They now feel like they have some power. And if your kids are young enough, you can get away with some fun choices like, would you like to go to bed at 7:45 or 7:45? That's like the parent's ultimate choice. I mean, you talk about a win-win. They get to choose and you still get them to bed on time. Don't be afraid of this. So many parents are afraid and misunderstand what choices do. You're not giving the power to your children. You're giving them some of your power, appropriate amounts, choices that they can handle. It also teaches them how to make good choices. It's good practice, understanding what to do in a given situation that's acceptable rather than dysfunctional. So make choices your new best friend. It gives them some control, which they need, and it helps you set the parameters for what is acceptable. Be willing to make compromises. Sometimes our kids might have a third option that that's still acceptable, and sometimes the compromise isn't. Sorry, kids. Disney World is not going to happen today, but we can go out for ice cream.
Hey, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and click like below and share in the comments section what you found most helpful. Then make sure you subscribe to our channel. All of that will help make sure more parents like you can find this video and you won't miss an episode.